He's been banned? What is going on, guys? Professor K here for the Pokemon Evolutionaries, and today I'm actually going to take this opportunity to create Professor's Corner number 2. The last one we had was back in December. It's kind of a series that I never really branched off of, but I think I'm going to start doing it again. And we're going to start today with some big news. A lot of you already know this by now, but this card right here, the Lysandre'S trump card, has been banned. Who saw that coming? I know I didn't. It was a huge shock to me when I heard that this card had been banned. It joins one of only 3 cards in the United States to be banned. Sneasel, Slowking, and now Trump card. I kind of get where they're coming from, because the fact of the matter is that you can use this card to get back some really trolly stuff, like enhanced hammers, crushing hammers, your lasers, all kinds of stuff to just really disrupt the game right now, and it's really powerful. But I didn't think it was that powerful. Now, hear me out. I feel like the card is strong, but it's a one-of in most decks. And yes, it does prevent a win condition. It does cause the opponent to basically not ever deck out. But I just didn't see the point. But regardless, either way, I'm fine with it. I just didn't see it coming, that is for sure. I usually can see something coming, but I did not see this coming. And also, to point out, there's actually another reason why I believe this card was banned, beyond just being able to get back all the trolley stuff. There's a card that's being released in Bandit Ring, Ancient Origins here in the United States, or anywhere else that speaks English, that is being released, a Sableye. It's very similar to the Junk Hunt Sableye in Dark Explorers, but instead of getting back things out of your own discard pile, you can use its attack to use a supporter card that's in your opponent's discard pile. Interesting. So if a trump card is in your opponent's discard pile, you can use it. Seems a little bit overpowered. So maybe that has something to do with it as well. Obviously, they knew what they were doing when it comes to that, because Sableye was going to come out, making trump card potentially even worse, because you're not going to get it out with a VS Seeker. You're going to use your opponents that's in their discard pile with a Sableye for an attack. It can get kind of disruptive, and I guess that leads to more of a toxic metagame. But here are my thoughts on it. I feel like it's going to potentially weaken Toad slightly. Not much, just a little bit. Toad is still strong. It's still going to lock out items. It's going to still use Hypnotoxic Laser. It's still going to use hammers. But the only difference is that you're not going to be able to get stuff back out of the discard pile. The other thing is it does put a little bit of thought process behind deck building again, because you're not going to be able to get back double colorless energies anymore. You're not going to be able to get back trainer cards anymore besides supporters with VS Seeker. So you really need to think about your deck choices and your plays way more than you would have with this card still in the metagame. So instead of being able to just burn through your deck, set up as fast as possible, and then trump it all back in later, now you actually have to worry about what cards am I going to play? What do I have in my deck? Because I'm not going to be able to get any of it back anymore. So in a way, it is a good thing for Lysandre'S trump card to be banned. It puts a lot of thought process back in the game, and it really creates a game where it doesn't just matter who burns through their deck the fastest. It doesn't matter who sets up the fastest, because ultimately, stuff can still get gotten rid of. You can still enhance hammer special energy, and nobody can get it back out of the discard pile now. There's only 4 lasers. There's only 4 hammers. That's all you're going to get. So trump card being gone, I don't think is a bad thing. I don't think it's great either, because it does also take away from the fact that decks like Night March are really strong. So the only difference is there is that in Night March, you're only going to be able to play decks that revolve around special energy and basic energy, because obviously you have to worry about your DCEs getting hammered away. You can't just play 4 DCE. With Mew, it makes it a little bit easier because of Joltik having its attack, Dimension Valley Mew, 1 energy you can use on Mew. But Mew is going to rotate next season too, so Night March is definitely going to lose some power. Toad is going to lose power for sure because of the 4 DCE being played in there. Hammers, 4 hammers and they're gone. I mean, that's all your energy in your deck. You can't trump it back in. There's nothing you can do anymore. Being able to play decks that revolve just around getting rid of energy, just poison, just anything that's really just trollish, is going to fall by the wayside now. Not such a bad thing. I feel like it's going to bring back a lot of playability to decks that are not necessarily lightning fast. Right now, Mega Rayquaza with Shaman, Night March is obviously still going to be very powerful, but it's going to have to watch the way you play it. Flareon, all those lightning powerful fast decks that you just burn through and just say, hey, I'm just going to get rid of this because I can get it back later. I think they're going to get a little bit weaker. I think we're going to see more decks that revolve around basic energy again, which is a good thing. Item lock is still possible even without Toad, even if it does weaken a bit, just because of Wally and Trevenant. So we're always going to have item lock in the format. But what a lot of people are failing to see is that item lock has been part of Pokemon for a very, very long time. It's not just now. It's been this way for a while. It's been super strong because there's been a higher amount of damage outputting multipliers, like Hypnotoxic Laser with Burbank City Gym, Muscle Band, stuff like that. It turns a 30 power attack into potentially all the way up to 80. So that's why item lock seems so much worse now than it ever was back then. But item lock has always been part of Pokemon. It will always be part of Pokemon. Trainer lock or item lock, either way, no matter how you put it. It's always been that way, and that's the way it's just going to be. There's always going to be checks and balances within Pokemon. Unfortunately, the item and trainer lock portion of it has been stronger because of the fact that the attacks are a lot stronger alongside with it. So Trump card being gone does definitely weaken that a bit, and I think it adds a little bit of more fair play to the game. Now, of course, it's also important to note when this card is going to take effect, because right now it's June 3rd. So that means you have some time left to play this card because this is not going to be banned from the United States until June 15th. So if you have any league challenges coming up, basically it's your last opportunity to play Lysandre'S trump card. So definitely take advantage of that. But after that, it's gone. US Nationals, it's gone. So it really changes the way the game is going to get played really soon because everybody has trump card in their deck basically. I mean, it's a one of in every single deck. Do I think it's going to affect the game in a tremendous way? Probably not. Because the players have been playing this game for a long time, already know how to work with decks without having ways to get it back. It does make it a little bit more complicated again, because everybody's been used to building decks that are just like, okay, I'm going to play something that's just going to set me up the fastest, and I'll worry about anything I throw away later. Now you don't have that luxury anymore. Now you've actually got to build a deck that's going to be consistent for you throughout the entire game, and also preserve the resources you need. Because once they're gone, they're gone. The other thing that's important to note as well is that I believe that Lysandre'S trump card being gone will increase the speed of the game. Because there are a lot of ties right now, and a lot of it is due to the fact that no one decks out anymore. So with this being gone, I think it's going to speed up the game slightly with a lack of Toad, or a smaller amount of it. Maybe we'll see a little bit more speed into the game where we won't see so many ties because nobody wants to tie. I mean, yeah, nobody wants to lose either, but a tie can mean the difference between making top cut and missing top cut. So in the end, I mean, who are we really hurting here? I think it's a good thing, overall. What I think we will see is a higher amount of decks that play ability locking techniques, like Garbodor, Wobbuffet, Silent Lab. Because right now, without people even realizing it, we went from a metagame that was entirely ability-based, Blastoise, Virizion Genesect, Emboar, or Raybor, all of those ability-based decks. Then we suddenly shifted to decks that were not so much about abilities, and Garbodor fell by the side. Silent Lab hasn't been a really, really strong stadium yet. But with the addition of Roaring Skies, now decks are really heavily ability-based. So I have a feeling we're probably going to be seeing all of these ability shutdowns come back. So with Trump being gone, I feel like now people are going to rely more on ways to troll people by shutting down their abilities. Shaman, super strong card right now in the format. Put it down, draw up to 6 cards. It's really powerful. Now granted, I think people will be a little bit more leery to play Shaman because they're going to be afraid to deck out. But it's still going to be played. Also on top of that, you've got Mew EX and Night March. Virizion Genesect is still a thing, and it's still making top cut in tournaments. So we're going to want to shut that off as well, especially if you're going to make use of Burbank and Hypnotoxic Laser before it gets rotated out. But let's not focus too much on that, because we're really here to talk about this card being gone. Like I said, it was definitely a shock to me. I'm sad to see it go. Rest in peace, Lysandre'S trump card, November 2014 to June 2015. What else can I really say about it? But I do think it'll change the game for the better, and that's just my opinion. as a Pokemon professor who's been watching the metagame over the last year or so really develop and change in more drastic ways than I think we've ever seen before. It's created a really interesting game for people, and I think it's going to continue to create an interesting game for people. I think the Pokemon Company International really made a smart move here by eliminating a really overpowered card. But, like I said, either way, I'm okay with it. I can still build decks around other things. Don't have to depend on getting my cards back. I feel that Night March will still be strong. I feel that Flareon will still be strong. You just have to watch how you play it. That's really what it all comes down to. Because your opponent can't get your cards back into your own deck, but neither can you. So you gotta watch the way you burn your resources. The same thing can be said for Toad. So if you're a smart player, you can get your ways around it. But a lot of people are sitting here and complaining about the fact that it's gone, but really all it was doing was making it easier for you to build decks. So let's go back to being the way that we were and build decks based upon our own abilities and just have fun. That's what the game is. It's all about fun. And the people who take it way too seriously just take it way too seriously. And there's nothing you can do about that. At the end of the day, the game is what you make out of it. Lysandre'S trump card is just that. It's a card. The fact that it's gone doesn't mean anything. Just have fun, build decks the way you like to, and just enjoy yourself. That's my thought on the issue. Let me know in the comment section down below what you think of Lysandre'S trump card being gone, and tell me your reasoning behind it. Do you think it's good? Do you think it's bad? How will it affect the game? Tell me in the comment section down below what your opinions of it are, your comments on the situation. Let's have a discussion. And as always, guys, if you like this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more TCG content. I'm going to try to do more things like this, explaining the game a little more often. I did get away from it, and it's something that I really do enjoy, especially because a lot of people ask me, what do I think about Lysandre'S trump card being gone? Well, I think the easiest way is just to make videos about different parts of the game and just tell you guys what I think. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this series, and we'll see you guys next time. I'm Professor K for the Pokemon Evolutionaries.